Okay, and we're live. Okay, just had to get that geared up. Now it's all because I did a advanced thingy for this that the chat has already started. So hello everyone. I'll just do the pop-out chat thingy. Oh damn it, I forgot. Do that. Get rid of that in the background. It's all well and good. Just gotta fiddle with some windows, as the glazier said to the housewife. Right, so hello everyone. Hello Luke and Megaleech. Musical Aviator. Is he Joel? Hello Joel. Hey Patman. Not sure if there's anyone else who's already jumped in the door. So yes, I have a premonition that tonight might be a bit active on the troll front, because that most desperate of desperate little boys who can't seem to give up his obsession with me did another video where he talked about how you know, saying rape is bad is stupid. But anyway, hey Peter, and hello CrossFitter. Yes, so I don't know what it is that he can't quit, you know, but here's the, you know, that's his big thing. It literally apparently does not matter how many times I ignore a video of his, he just can't stop himself. I don't know. I mean, I try to provide entertainment, but the degree to which this guy is obsessing over me is a little bit weird. Who can tell? Who can tell what drives people in this weird and crazy world of ours? Yes, Luke, I saw that troll. One of the reasons that I set up the live stream to send out an announcement that I knew some people would arrive early, but I also knew probably at least some trolls would, and I could boot them before I even started. So we'll see. Wait, oh, Will. Hi, Will. I knew someone just popped in. How are you this fine evening, Will? Oh my, it is cold here in Melbourne. Yeah, like for the last many years, Melbourne has been having really mild winters. And up until this week, this winter was relatively mild. But Jesus, the last couple of mornings, I think it's been down to freezing. Yeah, you're right, Luke. Adelaide to Sydney. It's a quite widespread, the cold weather, particularly in country areas. But yeah, there's certainly around some of the suburbs it's been around 0. Yes, Joel, I can't really miss when Baring does a video and his creepy little racist, misogynist groupies swarm me. And hello, Charlie and Danny. Yeah, Peter, I saw Queensland, which is our tropical north in Australia, if there's anyone here who's not Australian. I saw some pictures of some country areas in Queensland. There's friggin' ice everywhere. It is super unusual for Queensland. But yeah, it's waited till the literal middle of winter for us to get cold weather. How dare you say this really bright yellow drink looks like actual piss? It's a pineapple drink. It actually, like, seriously, if your piss is that yellow, I think you need to hydrate more. Toby, hi. Yes, Middle East said booted one troll. AZ is unwell, but AZ got excited because there's a thing here in Melbourne called the Web Fest, Melbourne Web Fest, a festival of web video, and they had what do you say? They had a competition where you pitch an idea for a web series, and at last minute thing, I did an entry to basically pitch the story of AZ Code Grey, the web series, and I got shortlisted for the competition, which means I got to do a live pitch on stage a week from Saturday. So that will be interesting. See, I'm in a zero tolerance mood. Sometimes I would give people a break, but I want to run up as big a tally I can of getting rid of the trolls. I was about to say, any other time I would have actually entertained that guy, but I want to get as high a tally as I can tonight. But I mean, seriously, the guy's saying, see, that's perfect. The guy says, well, is this the gay chat? And we straight away get a message, Celtic King loves me. Dude, this chat gets pretty damn gay if we let it, I'm just saying. So, Tender, I'm quite okay with pineapple on pizza. Oh, we could talk unusual topics on pizzas. And hello, nobody. I worked at Pizza Hut when I was at college, and we could make our own dinner, like, you know, make a pizza for our dinner when we worked a shift. And one of my co-workers said, oh, potato salad is good on pizza. And I thought, gross, what an awful idea. But generally speaking, potato is a really good pizza topping. I know I've put avocado on pizza, which some people find weird. Oh, Pat, that's how many people have I blocked this week? Last 24, 48 hours is in the hundreds. Absolutely, Pat, man, nothing wrong with being bi, gay, trans, poly, whatever the heck. Anything consensual is okay with me. Yeah, Toby, we're all a little bit gay. Some of us more than others. Yeah, Peter. It's normally it's places have like a gourmet pizza, and they'll put potato on it. I think potato's a good pizza topping. Oh my God, Will, you woke up at 3 this morning. Yeah, I would also go to bed soon if I had woken up at 3 this morning. I was like the normal time. When's my alarm set for? 6:15? 6:15 gives me enough time to get. This is my current job. I work in the burbs. For the first time in ages, because I normally work in or near the city. Current job is in the burbs, and as a result, they have a staff car park, but there aren't enough spaces, so the car park's full by certainly before 8 a.m. Usually by about 10 to quarter to 8. So I have to get up quite early to get a parking space. I have to have my alarm at 6:15. Music aggregator, what's the chance the hundreds I blocked are one dude? There are definitely individual dudes with multiple troll accounts, but no, I'm pretty sure I blocked hundreds of different people. Oh, Will, sorry, you asked me before, have I seen Incredibles 2? But I have not seen it. I think there's a reasonable chance I might see it this weekend. I'm very keen to see it. I'm a big Pixar fan, but yeah, I'd quite like to see Incredibles 2. Oh, Charlie, capsicum on a pizza is quite good. You're right. I actually like to sort of things like onion and capsicum. Cook them before putting them on the pizza, so you know, caramelize them a bit. Maybe saute them with some garlic, and they caramelize a bit, and then put them on the pizza. I think they taste even better. But yeah, so it's the cooking show tonight. I wonder what we're going to talk about on a given night. And so far, we're a cooking show. I'm down with that. I will, yes. Ant-Man and the Wasp. I definitely want to see. That looks super cool, and not least because the weird freakazoid MRAs are upset about the prominence the Wasp has on the poster, which is freaking weird. No, buddy. No, we have not yet talked about the Libs wanting to privatise the ABC. It is something I want to talk about. Yes. Oh, Peter, he just found out about. They go, yeah, he's a reprehensible toad. He's racist, misogynist, fucking coward. On top of anything else, David, on the literal piss, yes. Fury, eat the rich. I mean, the rich are going to, have most of them are going to have like a layer of fat. To be fair, so do I. But so I think you should be thinking of like what's that Japanese beef? Kobe, is it? We have all the marbling, that sort of thing. And do I watch much the Food Network? Not a huge amount, but I do watch cooking shows every now and then. Yeah. But it's really obvious. Well, I think there's two key reasons the Conservatives are trying to privatise the ABC. One, they really do not like the scrutiny. They really do not like this objective voice out there. And second, they're in the pocket of Rupert Murdoch and the other commercial entities. And the Murdoch family continually attack the ABC and BBC because they're convinced the only reason their piece of shit media empires are in a downward spiral is because people can get good quality content from the ABC and BBC. And it's just like, fuck those guys. I hate them so much. Tinder, we need nice Chianti and some fava beans to wash them down. I don't know. Obviously, you want to eat the rich in moderation. I think that's be a quite fatty diet. So like sort of grind them up and make a bolognese out of it. But hi Barry. I saw a tweet that I thought was very funny. Someone saying, hey, someone should remind the rich that trade unions were a compromise we made instead of dragging them out of factories and murdering them in front of their families, because I think they've forgotten that. Oh, yeah, Peter, the concept that the ABC is filled with Marxists is absolutely ridiculous. Well, Pat, there's no two ways around that. Bearing made a swarm descend on my channel. I kind of feel like, although that's saying, yeah, I'm trying to think of an appropriate metaphor, and I'm just thinking of maggots somehow, just like a never-ending cascade of maggots. But yeah. Oh, nobody, a classic. Speaking of eating, has anyone ever been halfway through eating a horse and then gone, geez, I'm not as hungry as I thought I was? McGrath, hey there in New Zealand. And hey to you, the dream. But yes, I find I get bizarrely amused by Twitter. Oh, Barry, we tend to, yeah. Talking about food is one of the more sedate topics we are. Thank you, Dream. I love me too. But I mean, people follow my Twitters. My son, young Mr. Angry, made his signature caramel slice day. They got something at school tomorrow, some sort of celebration, and he's made this caramel slice dish. And I am not exaggerating. He makes the best caramel slice I have ever tasted. Like, I've never found a shop or a bakery that makes a better one. Yes, so super jealous of all of his classmates getting some of this caramel slice tomorrow. Although I think he's promised to give me the offcuts because he cuts around. It's in a big dish, and he cuts around the edge and makes lots of neat squares. I get the rough bits off the edge. Then I show it to Gordon Ramsay. It's not that it looks particularly good. You know what? I'm trying to up my tally. So as lame as that was and didn't bother me at all, that just for being boring and doing the soy line, you become number 3. Yeah, well, Bure, it's not. I'll tell you the secret of his caramel slice. I think there are 2 big secrets, but I think the biggest one is the base, because the base, when you get it from a shop or a bakery, is often like pressed, crushed biscuits. And his is actually baked. He makes like a sort of brownie mix and does a thin layer and bakes it. So the base of his caramel slice is actually baked. And also his caramel is really rich. Barry, I've declared I've got scored 10 is a bronze medal in the BanHammer Olympics. And I've decided to set some stretch goals. 30 is a silver medal, and I may have overstated it because it's been quite. But I've previously, when there was this troll thing, there was a big swarm of them at about the 1 hour mark. Yeah, but 50 will be a gold medal. Oh, Peter, yeah, that guy with the soy line sells brain. But that's just a scam site. That whole Prison Planet and Alex Jones and shit. That is literally all a scam. Say stupid shit to stupid people so they swarm to your site and sell them complete bullshit. Well, what kind of phone do I have? The iPhone Plus. This is not the current generation. I've even forgotten. I think that makes it a 7. I think this is a 7. But look, it reflects when it's not on. Whee! Oh, nobody. The right-wing fuckheads, MRAs and whatnot, they've come up with this thing that people on the left eat lots of soy-based products, and they've asserted that eating lots of soy increases the estrogen in your body or something, so you're feminine. You're a soy boy. It's like, oh, they're great. Oh yeah, Pat. Australia playing Denmark in about an hour or something, isn't it? Bjorn's a nerd. Prison Planets in the game Dragon Ball Heroes. Nerd. That's the other thing. We're all nerds. Like, okay, cooking is the topic now. It's inevitably going to be video games and things. Oh, I'm sorry. Will, you were asking me, I think, also if I was going to see Venom. I will probably see Venom. I'm not like super hyped to see it, but I like what's his face who's in it, so I will probably see it. Yeah, Peter. Yeah, no, there is no science to their bullshit. And yes, Barry, alt-right propaganda is truly bizarre, and they've gone so meta with the deranged shit. They say, I literally don't think they even know when they're being serious, because you do get a lot of them going, no, I'm just saying this extreme wacky stuff, to be provocative and to own the libs, lol. But there's a bunch of them who clearly believe it, and it's just really, really bizarre. And you're right, Barry, it is mostly trolling. But the trouble is, when you repeat stuff over and over, there's been a lot of psychological studies into this. When you repeat stuff over and over, you start to believe it. And yes, the irony side of it, like those fuckheads like, fuckhead McKitler dog in England, and the other fucking right-wing cunts who are on YouTube a lot. Oh, we're going to join UKIP and make it great. And it's like, and then they claim when it's saying vile anti-Semitic shit, racist shit, misogynist shit. They're going, oh, it's being ironic. Someone does need to explain to them. if you fuck a goat ironically, you still fucked a goat, basically. So I mean, it's a pretty bizarre thing to go like, acting like a nasty, vindictive, spiteful troll piece of shit, and saying it's ironic, you just have the same effect as a nasty, obnoxious piece of shit. Oh yes, I noticed Peter and Tendai saying, yeah, Sargon apparently got rejected by UKIP for being too racist. I did see reports of that, which is pretty funny. Nobody. I'm not sure if that does classify as ironic. If you said you round up the Nazis and gas them, it's just like I'm just a big believer in zero tolerance, because the only reason you're getting a propagation of these basically open white supremacists and Nazi propagandists, Nazi sympathizers, is they can get away with it. So that's why fucking zero tolerance on those motherfuckers. So they think they can do it with impunity. So even at a much lesser end of the spectrum, that woman in the US, one of Trump's mob, who's an architect of the taking kids from their parents at the border. She went out for lunch at a Mexican restaurant, and apparently the whole restaurant turned on her and booed her and chased her out. It's like, yeah, make these fuckers pay socially for their fucking behavior. It's like they need to know that it's not acceptable, that they just can't get away with it. Oh, yeah, Barry, the SWERFs and TERFs, sex worker excluding red femmes, trans excluding red femmes. Look, I'm old enough that I sort of know where very old school feminists are coming from, where they have a very, very hard time accepting trans women as women, because when they grew up, there was very poor to zero understanding of trans issues, and they often saw like drag queens, and they equate drag queen performance artists as being, the same as trans women, and they often saw that as mockery. But you got to learn to change when you get new information and world changes around you. People who can't change are doomed to have a bad time. Hello, Tor, and hello, Lance. But yeah, and I try to occasionally say, particularly women feminists who are like 1,000,000% anti-porn, anti-sex work, and I go, you probably need to talk to a sex worker. Don't talk to me. I'm not a sex worker. But talk to a sex worker and understand their views. Not that there's not exploitation in sex work. It's just that there's exploitation in all work. So I've honestly never seen an argument against sex work that wasn't exactly as valid if you took the word sex out of the sentence. Like I say, some workers are only doing that because they feel trapped. It takes sex out. Some workers only do the job they're doing because they feel trapped and they need the money. Some sex workers are abused and threatened to do what their boss wants and ripped off by their boss. Yeah, cut sex out. Some workers are abused, threatened, and ripped off by their boss. Some sex workers trafficked, taken to other countries and forced to work against their will. Some workers, and this is the thing, and I've had SWERFs, sex work excluding red femmes, be completely ignorant of this and deny it happens. Say, there are workers around the world who are basically enslaved. And in fact, sex work is way down the list, way high on the list of workers who are essentially enslaved is domestic workers. And in some parts of the world, a lot of construction workers and factory workers are essentially slaves. It's just like, no, we need to be against exploitation of all workers. We don't need special laws for sex workers. You just treat it as work. If they're being exploited, that's illegal. If they're doing it being forced to do it against their will, that's illegal. If they're being abused physically or psychologically in their workplace, that's illegal. Those things are illegal for everyone. You don't need to treat sex work differently to any other work. It's fair and non-exploitative. And then you get the SWERFs who say it's literally impossible for sex work to not be exploitative. And I go, well, talk to some sex workers. And no, they're internalized misogyny and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, okay. Not a lot of point in talking to you then, because you're not listening. But cool, good on you, Lance. I assume by old mate you mean me, because I don't know who else you'd be bringing up. But anyway, yeah, and I will profess to, at various stages in my life, being ignorant to the lives and experiences of other people, and that includes sex workers. I would very easily, in my youth, being convinced that it's awful for everyone all the time. Then thanks to things like Twitter and Facebook, you can actually meet different people and get their experiences. Okay, that's 5 each. Okay, we're well on our way to a bronze medal. Oh yeah, Megaleech. Yeah, I found out that just through Twitter that Viola was in Tassie doing stripping for Dark Mofo. I think she's back now, from what she was saying on Twitter today. Oh yes, Megaleech. I honestly don't think you were wrong. I think you were just early. I think your call on the early 5 is going to prove to be correct, but benefit of the doubt's going on. Oh my God. Here's the weird thing. Look, okay, while we're talking about trolls, I don't bother engaging with them. But I don't know how many of you watched the video I put up on Monday, which was in light of women being murdered, specifically reacting to the one that happened recently, but also talking generally. And so Fucko McCoward Shitstain there did his attack video, and I've never bothered to watch any of his attack videos on me, but people have, and they tell me what he does is he selectively edits and uses words and phrases completely out of context. He cuts the context out, and then he gives his little legion of inbred fuckwits their talking points. So I see the same messages 100 times because they're none too bright, and they just repeat what he tells them to repeat. And so I get a sort of a good feel for what he's said and what he's done. And the one word that he apparently can't deal with is responsibility. And, you know, I talked about we have a problem with male violence being normalized and whatnot. And right towards the end of the video, I said, to the effect, when this violence is happening, men need to take responsibility. And then straight out, and I explained exactly what I meant straight, like unequivocally, I said men need to take responsibility. Because when you see this bullshit behavior, when you see threatening, creepy, stalkery behavior, call it out, do something. Don't. So I was absolutely categorically clear on precisely what I meant by taking responsibility. It's like, cool, you yourself, you know, great. You're saying you're not a rapist. You don't threaten women. You're not a bad person. So you still have to take responsibility for what's happening. And when you see it, when you see nasty, threatening, creepy behavior, call it out, stand up and say, that's not acceptable. And yet all I'm getting from fuckos little maggot trolls is, I'm not responsible for rapists, when that is categorically not what I said. I never said anything as stupid as all men are rapists. And I didn't say, and I categorically did not say all men are guilty because of these rapes and murders. I said, take responsibility. Take responsibility and stand up. When you see this bullshit, call it out. Don't shrug it off. Don't go, not my problem. Because you need to tell these fucking creeps it's not acceptable. And also, in all honesty, the more these not all men types protest, the absolute less I believe that they are innocent. And again, particularly when you put them on the spot, you know, you say, well, if a girl's really drunk and can't stand up, she's asking for, oh, she shouldn't be drunk. You know, it's like, I'm convinced the overwhelming majority of this mob definitely on the regular grope women in public places. And if they've never sexually assaulted or raped a woman just because the opportunity hasn't presented itself, they are very clear in what they think is acceptable. And they make me fucking sick. Anyway. Pure civility is impossible. Right wingers killed it with an AR-15. Actually, it was a weird thing. I saw this circulated a lot online. The New York Times is publishing some fucking weird opinion columns lately. You know, these people go, oh, the problem, and it's like ignoring the problem. The problem with Trump and his supporters is they are hideous, white supremacist, misogynist scumfucks. And it's like, oh no, it's because people on the left aren't being civil. So no, these motherfucking cunts, that's who they are. And they feel justified doing that. And Trump empowers them. They're not being hideous pieces of shit because people on the left said, hey, wait, you're being a hideous piece of shit. They're being a hideous piece of shit because they've been liberated by Trump. They've been empowered by Trump. They've been told what they're doing is right. This whole thing of, oh, be nice to them, fuck that. That has literally never worked in history. No oppressed group has ever gotten out from under oppression by going, oh, they'll just be nice for a bit longer. They'll be nice to me. Toby, you're supposed to haven't trolled my PO box. That's actually, I haven't checked my PO box, but it's supposed to tell me when I've got something. I've got to try and remember to go into the city on the weekend. I don't work in the city anymore. Peter, Daisy Cousins, he's just stupid. He's just not very intelligent. She she just brain farts. She goes, "I'm going to say something." And she is the classic of, "Oh, I'm going to get attention, not by offering anything, not by having any sort of intellectual input. It's like, I'm going to troll the left." Yeah. That's the thing. Whatever happened to conservative intellectuals? I mean, you just don't see them. The people who get all the attention in conservative circles get it just by being fucking obnoxious. It's like, I'm sorry, you haven't achieved anything by upsetting people by being a piece of shit. All you've done is be a piece of shit. And the idea that it's like, "Oh, look, I'm doing this to own the libs," and it's like, fucking hell, what is wrong with you? Why do you not think the world's better served if you contribute? Why is it just like, "Oh, I upset them"? It's like, oh my god, it's pathetic. Sorry, I think I just read that comment properly. Get John Williamson to write a song entitled "That's a Bit Rapey, Mate," and play it during cricket season. Anyway, to reach the Aussie mail. Instantly I thought they would do it, but there's one of those things where I go, I'm worried people wouldn't get the joke, quite honestly. Sal, there's a few of them. What's her face? Daisy Cousins is very much modeling herself on the blondes on Fox News, except she's even more vapid than they are, if you can believe it. Viewer, you joke saying stabbed yourself in the knee, don't leave, set the car on fire, own the libs. Like that fuckwit, the Prison Planet cockhead. He's like posing with a cigarette because he thinks it's cool. And he actually says, "I'm doing this to own the libs," because it upsets them. I'm going, yeah, dude, I'm so upset at you smoking. If you want to really trigger me, you could drink bleach. I would just be so owned if you drank like a liter of bleach. I'd be so upset. That'd be terrible, you know. You definitely don't do that. Bury, I believe you. Because they say dumb shit. Like, was that weird thing there was? I don't even get it was because it's a product that's either not on sale or not very widely on sale in Australia. There was some really expensive kitchen item, whether it was a weird coffee machine or a slow cooker. I don't even know what it was. It's called a Keurig or something. And the company behind it, I don't know, said something progressive. I don't even know exactly what they did, but they upset conservatives somehow. And so there was this whole thing of, oh, smash your Keurig and post a photo of it smashed. And they're really fucking expensive. So these idiot mutants got their incredibly expensive kitchen appliances and smashed them and took a photo and said, "Oh, take that, libs." It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That was yours. You paid a lot of whatever, man. Yeah, you know, I can spend all your money, set it on fire. Just set your money on fire to trigger the libs. It's like, good God. It's like these people are so strange. It's like, no, do something. Do something positive. Do something that contributes. Don't just do it. Yeah, Barry, I think you're right. It might have been a marketing ploy. Like maybe the Keurig company were actually behind it to increase sales. Yeah, these people buying these expensive products just to smash them. Yeah, I think you're right. The actual Keurig company might have been behind it. It's a good fucking God, that is so strange. That is such a strange thing to do. But yes. Musical elevator. Trump doesn't want Air Force One anymore. He wants Space Force One. I do like that people didn't really fight on that. After the debacle with locking kids, having baby concentration camps, having that blow up in his face, made another stupid Space Force announcement to try and distract, and it didn't really work. People say, no, I'm still really upset about the whole baby concentration camp thing. And hello, Franny, how you doing? So it's a strange old world. Yeah, the babies in cages. What the fuck? But in all seriousness, like, okay, so the babies in cages did not play well, and Trump's upset at how bad he looks, and so signs an executive order saying don't do that anymore, and we're just going to do permanent incarceration. We got that from Australia, right? When Malcolm Turnbull explained the brutality of Australia's internment camps for asylum seekers, Trump was like, what the fuck? I don't do that. Wow. And he's just gone, man. And I swear, Trump and his people have looked at it, what Australia's done, the hideous brutality of what Australia has done, and just gone, oh, they get away with it. It's like, no one cares. Oh, the UN says you're committing crimes against humanity. No one fucking cares. And so Trump is just going to do what Australia is doing, but on a really large scale. Yeah. Peter, yes, you're right. The Americans reacted much better with indignation. Australians don't fucking give a shit. I mean, obviously, there are activists and there are people who are pushing to help the asylum seekers who are fucking locked in prison camps. But yeah, Trump is literally taking inspiration from the brutality of Australia's detention centres. So yay, Australia trendsetters in hideous abuses of human rights. It's even like, the UN said, don't do that. So, America leaves fucking the UN Human Rights Commission, which is an imperfect body. I just want to throw that out there as well. I would definitely be one of the people criticizing the Trump regime for pulling out of the UN Human Rights Commission. But I will say it's a very imperfect organization, and some of its members are actual torturers. So fuck that. So I see you suspect Caleb Bond, Sylvester Dales, the soul of the late Conservative columnist Christopher Pearson. I don't think they had to drive Caleb's personality out, because I don't think he ever had one. See, it's like, okay, Caleb is a ridiculous, stupid, spoiled little shit, and he's been spoon-fed what to say. He's just an incredibly unsophisticated, vapid, borderline sociopath. Tendo, vote we cancel the American experiment. Yeah. But do you think the reason the US gave for leaving human rights councils because criticize Israel too much? I don't know. Why would you criticize Israel just because of their genocidal tendencies? Hey, yeah, Abigail, how you doing? And this is okay. Here's one thing that really bugs me, and this is a weird thing. Like, some right wingers will agree with me for the wrong reason, and some right wingers will really disagree with me. But I get very angry when someone says that anyone who criticizes the acts of the state of Israel or the Israeli army is by definition anti-Semitic. Is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Oh yes, Musical Aviator, I saw that. For those who don't know, the white settler regarded as the founder of Melbourne was a guy called John Batman. So there are parts of Melbourne named after Batman, and there was an electorate called Batman. It turns out he was not actually a very nice guy, very exploitative of Aboriginal Australians. So not a great guy. So there's a campaign to change the name of the electorate of Batman to name it after an Aboriginal activist, Cooper. He's a 20th century activist. He was a very interesting guy. I mean, he was actively protesting the Nazis during World War II. But yeah, ridiculous. Oh, Biori, we're saying it's a story about a black woman who stood up to ICE in a bus. I did not hear that. I did hear that when a bunch of airlines worked out that ICE was shipping kids who'd been separated from their parents on their planes without telling the airlines went, yeah, no, fuck you guys. We are not in the business of shipping around kids who've been taken away from their parents. Peter, is there a place in Turkey called Batman? Well, the thing is, Batman it's an English name, but it's a profession. I think you're an assistant to someone if you're a Batman. So that's why it's a name, because it was a job being a Batman. Oh yes, Abigail, you watched Nanette. I watched that last night too. That is a comedy special done by an Australian comedian. She won the best show at the Melbourne Comedy Festival when she performed it, which is interesting because you can argue it's not that funny. It's one of the most powerful pieces of theatre I've seen in a long time. Like, she's absolutely fucking amazing. She just, Hannah Gadsby, she just makes it real. There are some very funny jokes, and I think if I had been in an audience, I probably would have laughed a lot. Just watching on TV, I liked it and was entertained by it, but I didn't laugh a lot. But man, and she really just spiritedly goes on about, the abuse she suffered in her life and whatnot. And I was left sort of almost winded afterwards going, she did this at the Melbourne Comedy Festival, won the best show in the festival. So then toured the show. The Netflix special was filmed at the Sydney Opera House, but she's also done the show in America, like in New York and whatnot, to rave reviews. When Netflix said they were screening it, I thought it might have been one of the New York screenings that they were doing, but it was the Sydney Opera House one. Yeah, it's a very, very powerful show. It's really funny because it's literally her saying, I'm quitting comedy. I can't do comedy anymore for the following reasons. And now she's been doing this show for over a year. She's now done it all around the world. They've done it for more than a year. And yeah, I don't know what she's going to do next. It's pretty interesting. Yes, John. No, I don't. I'm aware Baring's new video. I've never bothered to watch anything he's done. What do I say to him? I'm confused as to why he's so obsessed by me. But he's just a pathetic, misogynist, racist coward. That's about the extent of it. Like, he's desperate for me to get in and beef with him. It's just like, dude, fuck off. It's like, just, get a life. Why in fuck are you so obsessed with me? I mean, like, I don't know how many years he's been doing this. I don't know how many videos he's made, but I've fucking ignored them all. Never watched any of them. I've never done a response video to any of them, and he won't fucking give up. Look, I'm not saying it's my roguish good looks, but there's something. There's something. Buddy, I have no idea why he's obsessed with me. Well, okay, I know he's obsessed because he's a racist misogynist, and he doesn't like people who call out racism and misogyny. But why me specifically, and why he won't give up with his obsession on me, I really don't know. Bioria, that's an interesting analysis. The John Wick movies are John Wick versus concepts. The original is him versus the Olympian gods in Hollywood. Chapter 2 is him versus video games. I I don't really get that. That's interesting. You're right, Toby. It's my sexy appearance. Can't he just keeps coming back. Like he's got the old Brokeback Mountains for me. Just can't quit me. You can blame him. Hey. Yeah. Yeah, musical aviator. You're right. With Channel 9 and their obsession with saying violent video games make kids violent, I think Channel 9 actually damages the brains of their viewers. Nobody. If we've got bad grill, how about grill bearing? It's like, yeah, dude. To a large extent, I just ignore him. Like, obviously, we're having a conversation now, so I'm answering it. But it's like, nah, dude. I'm not letting you define me or what I do. It would be a cheap way to get more views, like getting into this whole YouTube drama, having a beef, it would be a cheap way to get more views. It would be a cheap way to get more attention. I just don't care. I'm simply not interested. Gilbert, why would I debate with him? Because he's a lying, cowardly, shit-eating cunt. He's a liar. He argues in bad faith, and he's fucking vermin. And I have zero interest in validating such a worthless, despicable, sexist, misogynist, racist coward. He's a fucking coward. And I think you're right, Megaly. He wants some of this. Doesn't want to debate. He wants some of this. Who can blame him? Who can blame him? Oh, man. And yes, you're fat. Yes. And he wants it all. He wants me to put on even. He's like, I was going to go really bad then. Will Hart, that is the question. That is a big question. Where is Mimsy? I don't know. Look, if look, Mrs. Angry's just in there watching some TV. She always promises if she sees Mimsy wandering about, she'll put her in the door so she can sit over here and I can adjust the camera. She can be here, I think. But more, geez, speaking of things that need adjusting, this is a dry argument, isn't it? I think, what I have, what have I got? Look at 43. Oh, turkey. I might have like a Lynchburg lemonade. Well, yes, I've got the appropriate. Grillbot. Bearing is a worthless, snivelling cunt. Okay, he's fucking vermin. Why would I try debating someone who, by definition, argues in bad faith? I'd rather slam my dick in a car door. It's less painful and more productive. He doesn't want a civil debate. He's a liar. He's a racist. He's a misogynist. He's a fucking coward. And he and everyone who's a fan of his is worthless fucking scum. Grillbot, when I debate with anyone that depends on values, because I don't want their jizz all over me, because they're fucking narcissistic pricks. I do what I do. I have no interest in the sort of worthless vermin who push this right-wing bullshit on YouTube. I'm not being, well, what's the word I want? I'm not being defined by these fucking losers. Megaleech, you're fucking right, buddy. I'll tell you that for free. I need some more ass. I gotta get some more ass. Ass. Use some ass. Ice. Ice, baby. Listen to this. I just decided what I'm gonna have. Yes, musical aviator. Not a debate. And Abigail, that's exactly what I think, that they're not worth my time. Tendai, that sounds like yes. Oh, Grillbot, go look up Sea Lion on YouTube and then go fuck yourself. So yeah, they're gone. Good. That's 6. I need a measuring thing. All right. And this. Okay. Is everyone familiar with the term Sealioning, by the way. I'm quite fond of that as a term. So, got some rye whiskey. This I just came up with this idea on the spur of the moment. Never mixed this particular drink before, so I don't know what it was. This is absinthe, red absinthe. Yeah, Batman. Fair and balanced. Yes. Is it like I just don't have any interest in validating people like that. And I just don't want to be defined by their agenda. I'm just doing what I want to do. I'm just doing my thing. You know, just let me do my thing, man. Just let me do the thing. Oh yeah. Peter, you had a sea lion wanted to explain to you how Graham Lynham is a transphobe. I have seen a bit about. For those who don't know, Graham Lynham, how do we pronounce it? Lynham. Graham Lynham is a British comedy writer. He wrote for some quite famous series like Father Ted. He has said a bunch of shit online that says he seriously doesn't understand transgender people. Heine, been in country New South Wales taking astro photos. Nice. Oh yeah, okay, Sealioning. It's from a webcomic called Wondermark, which is quite a good webcomic. The artist does the style in like sort of, they look like 19th century magazine illustrations. And had one where this couple in a horse and carriage, and the woman goes, "Look, I don't mind most marine mammals, but I can do without sea lions." And the guy says, "Oh God, don't say that." He goes, "Why? I just don't like sea lions." And then this sea lion appears out of nowhere and lunges. "Excuse me, I just heard what you said. Would you mind telling me what the problem with your sea lions?" He goes, "Look, just get out of my life." And the sea lion keeps bothering and going, "I'm just being completely reasonable." And that then became a term for a particular sort of internet troll who gives the outward appearance of being civil and nice, but they won't shut the fuck up and leave you alone. So that became known as sealioning, being the sort of troll who has this veneer of being civil, but you just won't stop harassing people. I love it as a term, actually, sealioning. Lance, is Graham Lynham hated by everyone? I don't know if he's hated by everyone. I actually seen a lot of his. I don't know if I follow him on Twitter, or if I just see people retweeting it. I've seen him say stuff that I thought was quite lame even before the trans issue, but I have seen he said a lot of stuff recently where he seriously doesn't understand trans people and said some incredibly obnoxious things. So whether that's make him transphobic, but at the very best, he has a distinct lack of understanding of trans issues, and he says incredibly obnoxious and hurtful things. And I think he would claim he's not trying to be hurtful when he says them, but they're like he said. I've seen tweets from him that it's so stunningly ignorant. I was like, dude, either shut the fuck up or, you know, get yourself some learning, or be prepared for people to just think you're a fucking transphobic bigot because you're saying some real obnoxious shit there. But yes, that's a thing. But I guess, you know, he. Ooh, sorry, I was just seeing an interesting message. What's that about? Ooh, cool. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep track of if there's any troll messages. Oh, speaking of funny, I don't know. This is just out of nowhere. This is not actually um, what we're talking about. But like, okay, everyone's been really upset by the Trump regime and particularly the treatment of refugees, and particularly the taking babies away from their parents. And everyone's been like, there's been a really overwhelming, including significant chunk of conservatives going, okay, this is not on, is it? And uh, and then out of the blue, I'm gonna try and find it. Actor Peter Fonda is way. Oh man, what happened then? Why did that? Sorry, my thing happened. Fonda. So yeah, he's an old man who um, did weird. Okay, I'll try and find the actual tweet that he did in all caps, and it was seriously unhinged. So this is what he said. This is we're also saying, okay, we've got the high moral ground on the Trump crew with this, and Peter Fonda tweets in all caps, "We should rip Baron Trump from his mother's arms and put him in a cage with pedophiles and see if mother will stand up against the giant asshole she's married to. 90 million people in the streets on the same weekend in the country. Fuck." It's just like, what was that? What the fuck was that? It's like, okay, we're all busy saying like, we're pretty universally opposed to that. But this freaky out of left field, all caps rant, murder the president's son, blah, blah. It's like, dude, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh yeah, Abigail, you're absolutely right. Anyone in Australia who acts indignant about what Trump's doing with refugees, who isn't an active part of the resistance against what Australia is doing to refugees, is full of shit. I mean, like, as I said this a bit earlier, Trump is literally inspired by the Liberal Party policy here in Australia. He was, when Turnbull explained it to him, he was floored. Like, really? Fuck, you do that? I don't do that. That's really full on. And he's gone, well, yeah, hell, they do it. So yes, that's a trend that Australia can't really be proud of, but it is what it is. Well, where's Mistress M? In Adelaide. We were, look, I have to get it going again because we talked about uh, uh, doing some videos, even though she's in Adelaide and I'm in Melbourne, doing some more videos together, and we've definitely got to do that. Taylor, I am super, super anti-Trump. Like not even within QE of neutral, like so anti-Trump with the racism and misogyny and just general criminality. Really, it's the whole criminality that I'm not into. Luke, you in Adelaide? Oh, that's right. Yeah, you mentioned the weather in Adelaide. Yes, I'm overdue to visit Adelaide. Quite honestly, but yes, I am hoping to get Mistress M back into the video, and also even I don't have to get it's really weird. Viola lives just up the road and hasn't been here for a while. Taylor, elaborate on criminality. Him and everyone around him are fucking criminals and have been taking millions of dollars from Russian oligarchs in completely fucking illegal deals. And we're about, yay, close to that all coming public. Luke, to see pigs more. Well, no, well, I've got YouTube friends in Adelaide, Mistress M and a couple of other people. So, yeah. Taylor Blank, I'm not the one running the FBI investigation, okay? That is a very fatuous thing to say. Several of his cronies have already pled guilty to criminal charges, and we basically know beyond any doubt they've turned evidence on Trump. So saying so, again, this is like sealioning, okay? You're pretending to be polite and stuff, but you're talking shit. It's absolutely ridiculous. I know, Pat, man, I definitely don't want anyone to assassinate Trump. In fact, one of my biggest worries with Trump is he's polluted and degraded public discourse so much that there's no recovering from it. Like, I mean, okay, something bad happened to him. I have no idea, but I have fears of what his psycho hardcore base would do. But even, you know, because he's old and unfit, if he suddenly dropped dead, they'd fucking pull a conspiracy out of their asses. If he lost an election, they'd pull a conspiracy out. Oh my God, so a Trump stooge arguing in bad faith. Barry, tell me it's not so. Exactly, Franny. It'd be a matter if he got killed. But I really worry, if he dies of natural causes, which is a better than even chance, quite frankly, the fucking lunatics would see a conspiracy. If he lost an election, they'd refuse to acknowledge that. I really worry he's damaged public discourse so much, America and the broader world will never recover from it. Oh, look, you're going to Geelong. Enjoy. Oh, God, in July. Geelong in July. Fucking cold. Geelong in July. It's fucking cold. Megaleak, not official, but again, I feel like your prediction is accurate. Yeah, Pat-Man, I worry that nothing is good. Like, public discourse has been so degraded by Trump and his cronies, and absolutely deranged, fantastical conspiracies have been mainstreamed to such an extent. No matter how we get rid of Trump, you know, whether he just loses the next election or even he God forbid, runs 2 terms, they'll all be up in arms saying he should be able to be president for life. Like, that shit would actually happen. I think they won't accept anything at all, and that is incredibly disturbing to me. The world that we are potentially staring down the barrel of is really disturbing. So, but yeah, I mean, you only have to look at Trump's incredibly shit business history and see all the dodgy deals. And now, yeah, the people who he's very close to his campaign who have already pled guilty to serious criminal charges, man, they've all turned, they've all turned evidence. But it's impossible to know what's happened. The American political system has a few weird quirks. Like, I think a lot of Americans don't know this, and certainly a huge number of people outside America know. You'll always hear people talking about the term impeachment, and people think that's a legal thing. Like, impeachment means going to jail, and no, it doesn't. It's a political process. Impeachment's a political process. It sort of has a legal framework around it, but it's not legal as in through the courts. It's purely and simply a vote of the Congress in the US. So it's basically the elected officials in the US voting by majority to say, oh, we think the president's done a bad thing. Because there is an established standard of law there that the president can't, a sitting president can't be indicted, can't be charged with a criminal offence. But if the president is impeached, and as a result of the, because if I remember rightly, Clinton got impeached, you know, for lying about his sexual misadventures, but it didn't affect his presidency at all. But if Trump got impeached and as a result was removed from the presidency, then he could be charged. See, that's the thing. Nixon was the high-profile impeachment. He wasn't going to go, but because he thought he could ride it out. But then he got advice from his key lawyers that said, you're going to be impeached and then they're going to put criminal charges against you and it'll work. So he was never impeached. He actually resigned before he was impeached. And he was charged with offences. And then his vice president, Ford, who became president, pardoned him. And Trump keeps rabbiting on about being able to pardon himself. And most legal opinion is that he can't. Well, see, he can't pardon himself because you can't charge the president with a crime. So he's only going to be charged if he's impeached, so he's not president anymore. And but then the thing is, well, would Pence pardon him? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Okay, thanks for dropping by, Heine. Thank you for that clarification, Batman. House of Reps do impeachment, and if the Senate confirms, that's the conviction, which would move president. And when Clinton was president, the Republicans had the number in the House to pass impeachment, but the Democrats controlled the Senate, so there was no conviction. So the impeachment against Clinton was symbolic. But what the Trump crew must be worried about, because they control both the House and the Senate now. But there's midterm elections in November, which the Democrats could conceivably win. It's a long way from a sure thing. But the Democrats could conceivably get the numbers in both the House and the Senate. And if they do, Trump's fucked. They'll do impeachment and conviction like that. Jamie saying illegal to get gobs from an intern. No, Clinton was never impeached because he had sexual relations with that woman. He got impeached because he lied about it. See, and that's what you find out with all Trump's cronies who have been convicted or pled guilty to various things. Basically, when the investigators, this is whether it's the cops or the feds, if they catch you in a lie, like they want to get you for something big, they catch you in a lie. If you lie to them, that is in itself a criminal offence. Nobody, you got to head off. Aidsy is not okay. Aidsy's unwell, but he's feeling good because I'm entering a pitching competition in a festival next week to basically try and get funding to develop Aidsy the web series. Lance, is that gin with mango? No, it's a lemon drink with rye whiskey and red absinthe, but it's got a neat colour, hasn't it? No, Megaleech, the first one was a pineapple drink. This is the second one. Oh, Barry, I definitely would not accuse the Democrats of being brave. And this is the thing. Like, people think I'm don't understand. Look, to me, like, Trump is a stupid person's idea of a smart person and a weak person's idea of a strong person. He's a fucking joke. But you see it repeatedly in the US. the Democrats do seem to be too wussy, and the Republicans are, we're strong and bold and we don't apologize for anything. And I can see how with a certain person, I want to feel like the person in charge is really strong, and they can look at the Democrats and go, they don't feel strong to me. Republicans feel strong. Personally, I think it's a complete illusion, but I also think the Democrats should probably pull their heads out of their asses a bit and act a bit stronger. Nobody. Well, thanks for dropping by, buddy. And yes, I also hope things get better for AZ. Yes, no Megalish. Okay, if your piss is this color, you really have problems and really, really need to see a doctor. Tendai, you got to head off as well. Thanks for dropping by, buddy. Taylor, what do I think of the Kim Trump ship? Look, as I made a video about that and said, we put this on the list of things I hope I'm wrong about. I think that whole Trump-Kim talk is a complete sham. It's really creepy to see Trump praising a dictator who's responsible for such a horrible state of affairs for the majority of his country. But you know what? If anything good comes out of it, if there's any sort of increase of peace on the Korean Peninsula, if the North and South are able to strike some sort of deal, I don't care if Trump claims credit for it. If this whole weird sideshow produces a positive effect, let Trump go and get a Nobel Peace Prize. I don't fucking care. I'm more concerned, first and foremost, would be for the people in that part of the world, North and South Korea, but also Japan and China on either side. But I think by far the most likely outcome is nothing good. Probably nothing will come of it. Because honestly, Kim's not trustworthy. And Trump's a complete fucking idiot. But let's get real. Kim's not trustworthy. So he says he's going to denuclearize. He said that half a dozen times in the last decade or two. Taylor, can't review your own when you have lady problems. Yeah, you've got a urinary tract infection if this happens. Yes, kidney stones, Franny, that would be another one. Or yeah, multivitamins. I like the popular one in Australia is Barocca. I get another one because there's a different brand that has caffeine in it. I know you said just kidding, Taylor. I believe you're just kidding. But seriously, that would be a urinary tract infection. Yeah, the one I get is yellow. These tablets, effervescent tablets, are yellow, and I put like 2 of them in a glass of water and drink it. And yeah, about an hour or two later, you do a very fluorescent piss. Joel, you reckon the Kim deal pulls through? Dude, when I made the video, I said, I hope I'm wrong about this. I didn't make any big pronouncements. I said, look, on the surface, based on all common sense, this will be at best, this will be nothing. At worst, something really fucking bad will happen. But by far, the most likely outcome is nothing. But if something good happens, if there's a proper peace deal between North and South, and if like China and Japan can relax a little bit, I'll be all for you. Fucking go, Trump. Go get a because the Nobel Peace Prize is a fucking joke. Obama getting the Nobel Peace Prize just for getting elected was fucking ridiculous. That was just saying the Nobel Peace Prize isn't worth anything. We just kind of like this guy and we're giving him a prize because he hasn't fucking done anything. That was ridiculous. So yeah, the Nobel Peace Prize is a joke anyway. Henry Kissinger is a fucking war criminal as a Nobel Peace Prize, for fuck's sake. On my first time, we were talking about this in text earlier. E-cigs. Okay, there's vaping. AZ is like, he's like the hipster of vaping. AZ was vaping years before anyone knew what it was. I think vaping probably should be illegal, but I have seen disturbing disturbing evidence that cigarette companies actually want to jump on vaping and basically use it as a lead-in to make young people more likely to smoke. Like, hey, vape, because it's not that bad. And hey, now you're addicted to nicotine. Why not smoke? Yeah, so... Taylor, did I watch Q&A? I like my TV too much to Q&A. The average episode of Q&A makes me want to put my fist through my TV. So I almost never watch the Q&A because it aggravates me so fucking much. Oh, my first, don't you think we should ban tobacco and legalize e-cigs? Yeah, that would require too much sort of police state power. Sorry, you got me to snort laugh with your username clapping for chlamydia. It is long time no see. Exactly, Wolfer. Take that as a comment. Oh my God, your friend vaped and got some weird mix that made him have a psychotic break. What the fuck? What was he smoking? And can I get some? Sorry? Oh, Taylor Blank, I'm glad you find Q&A interesting. I'm just, Barry, Q&A is for questions and answers. At the panel, a serious panel show, there's a moderator and there'll be 4 to 6 people on the panel and they'll talk about the issues of the day. And I just find that like fully half the people that get on the show make me want to punch my TV. So it's like, I don't know, it feels, watching Q&A feels too much like self-abuse. So I have not watched Q&A, fuck, I don't know, in years. I just find it too aggravating. Chlamydia, your racist internet kicked you off. That's awful. Oh, yeah, look, musically about it. The moderator, Tony Jones, is a fucking narcissist, and he annoys the shit out of me. Oh, that's interesting, Natalie. You used to find Q&A interesting. Your 20s, now you're 32. Yeah, I just find it so aggravating. Yes. Yeah, Barry, they do get people, you know, with diametrically opposed views on there. It's just that I find the way they do it so aggravating sometimes. Like, oh no, I like my TV too much, and I want to kill it. Natalie, you were in the audience 3 times. Wow. Okay. Did you ever get to ask a question? That's the big thing. Taylor, I don't know anyone who thinks the court system handles rape and sexual assault well, or family violence, or anything. Yeah, and you know, just from people I know who've been through it, it's just not. I'm not a fan, but we do our best with what we have. Oh, Natalie, you never could ask a question. Bummer. Because I'm trying to think. I know, Taylor, you've been through it. Okay, well, I'm glad it was fine for you. I'm glad it was fine for you, because far too many people have a very bad time. I'm trying to remember if I've had a tweet on Q&A, because that's the other thing. Q&A put tweets up on the screen, so everyone tries to get their tweet on the screen. I think I've had a tweet on the screen. I'm not sure. I can't remember, honestly. You remember Julian Assange? God, that guy's a jerk. I mean, okay, I think in Julian Assange's defense, he started something with what seems like good intentions, but he's, after a few years of people basically telling him he was a god, and he definitely, it was quite freaky the number of politicians around the world who were calling WikiLeaks and Assange specifically, like an enemy of the state, someone who should be executed, I'm not surprised he got paranoid, and he also got a god complex because people kept telling him he was a god, and very powerful government people kept saying they were going to kill him. So I'm not that surprised he sort of devolved into paranoia and narcissism. Red comment, they don't put their own MPs in jail, shows how fucking just put on an executive saying. Brits have a history of this too. Oh, look, dude, everyone has a history of protecting people in power. Oh, hi, Adele and Feeler and Sealer, in late. Oh, clapping for chlamydia, yes. We'll let Benedict Cumberbatch hack into the system. Who has seen that, actually? The WikiLeaks movie where Benedict Cumberbatch plays Julian Assange. He does a pretty good Australian accent. I reckon probably even the two best Australian accents I've seen in the last decade. I reckon Benedict Cabbage Patch was second best when he did Julian Assange, but there's an Australian-made film called Lion about, and it's based on a true story about an Indian kid who got adopted by an Australian couple, and then eventually goes back to find his family. And the lead is played by Dev Patel. And holy crap, he does a good Australian accent. Like, it's completely convincing. Barry, I do a good Aussie accent. I work at it. I really work at it. Oh, yeah, Del, we were talking about Nanette by Hannah Gadsby earlier. I agree. Need to emotionally recover. I watched it last night, and my first feeling was, how the fuck does she do this show every night? It's bloody amazing. Feeling, how do I rate Meryl Streep doing Lindy Chamberlain in City and the Cry in the Dark, or Evil Angels, it was called here? Look, if I give Dev Patel 10 out of 10. I give Bandersnatch Cumberbatch 8 to 9 out of 10. I would give Streep a 7 out of 10. She was pretty good. Not as good as Benedict, and Dev Patel was stunning. Like, I just, like, because I've seen him in so many other. No, I'm just believing you were brought up in Australia at the moment. That is a really believable accent. Oh yeah, Adele, that was an amazing story. You gotta go, Pat, man. Thanks for dropping by, buddy. Well, you've more than dropped by. You've been here for an hour and a half. But yes, we've had this conversation once. But yes, good folk. If you get the chance to see Nanette stage show by oh god, brain. I keep going blank on names today. Hannah Gadsby, Australian comedian Hannah Gadsby. It's really good. It's on Netflix now. It's really powerful. Not necessarily ha-ha funny, even though it was a comedy show, but the drama parts of it was so fucking full on. Oh yeah, Dev Patel, very underrated. It's very good. And yeah, that's just a little bit of a fringe recommendation for you, if you like. He's English born, of Indian parentage. He got his start on a TV show called Skins. He was the lead in Slumdog Millionaire, which was a fairly well-known movie. He's quite young when he did that. And he was on that TV series, The Newsroom. But yeah, Lion, which is not that well known. It's an Australian film from like a year or two ago. Really good. And he's very good. Oh, and he's in the Best Exotic Marigold Hotel movies as well. And Chappie, he's the roboticist in Chappie, who successfully creates the artificial intelligence in Chappie. I love Chappie. That's such a good movie. I mean, it's like Short Circuit with guns, but yeah. Yeah, Jahatma. I think the trolls have shamed themselves. This looks like we're not even getting a bronze medal. I mean, I think maybe it's because I literally blocked hundreds of them in the last 24, 48 hours. So they can't come in. But yeah, there you go. We've got consensus. Lion is a good movie. And it's an amazing story. Like this guy, he's brought up by this very loving Australian family after, he's not really orphaned, but he's lost in India. But yeah, it's a really good movie. Feel It and Sealer, up and coming Neil Blomkamp. Yeah, I mean, what is he doing? Because he wanted to do an Alien movie, and it looked for a while like it was going to happen, but I think that officially got canned. And then there was District 9, which was fucking great. And it was so obviously set up for a sequel. And Chappie was so obviously set up for a sequel. And neither of those who have eventuated. Oh, clapping for Comedia. The 20 questions machine. I found it the other day and it doesn't work. I think I need to find another 20 questions machine because we years ago, always do 20 questions and that was so much fun. I'm trying to get, Taylor, have I ever been a troll? That is going to depend on your opinion. Some people think just the videos I make, because I express very strong opinions, make a troll. I think a troll is someone who goes after someone else and tries to provoke a reaction of it. And I would argue I don't do that. In my own domain, I do stuff that's provocative, and it's deliberately provocative. I'm regularly, deliberately trying to wind a particular sort of person up. But I, as a rule, don't chase people into their domain and troll them. That's what I think a troll does. A troll goes to someone in their domain and harasses them. And that's something I don't do. Clapping chlamydia. Yeah, it's like, it wasn't a decade ago. It was a long time ago. That was like on Blog TV, which doesn't even exist anymore. Every now and then I think I should try one of the other streaming services. Taylor, I am super vulgar in my own space. I'm such a huge fan of being vulgar in my own space. And I, without doubt, do stuff that's deliberately provocative. I don't shy away from that a second because it's on topics that I think are important. Megaleech, don't give away my secrets. Don't talk about me in the bedroom. You've said too much already. You know too much. Yeah, I mean, Barry, old school trolling was literally doing some complete non sequitur to disrupt conversation. My favorite one will always be back in the early days of the internet. I was hanging out on Usenet news groups, and someone sent me a link like, check this out. And it was a thread called Concerned Ponder. And it was a news group just about people who are making ponds in their own backyard, sharing tips on how to build and maintain a pond. And the Concerned Ponder said, look, someone's been posting deliberately upsetting stuff, and I think we should do something about it. And someone, in response to this guy going, oh, I think people are behaving badly and they shouldn't behave badly. And in response, someone posted this image, because this was the 90s, so video wasn't an option. It was just images. And it was an image that me and my friends came to refer to as ESAD, or Eat Shit and Die, because it was literally one person squatting over another person's face doing an enormous shit. And I swear to God, the person doing the shit had a lot of fiber in their diet. That's all I'm going to say. That was one of the earlier shock images I saw on the internet. I think I saw that before I saw Goatsy. But yeah, I mean, and now that was just straight up trolling. That was, you're not trying to achieve anything. You're not trying to make a point. You're just trying to disrupt and upset people. Yeah, see, clapping for committee, 2 girls, 1 cup, that's much further down the line. That's a video which is very, very fucking landmark shock video. Oh my God, Feeler and Seal, that you're right. Talking about trolling, those people calling them the kids being separated from the parents, calling them actors, like the irresponsibility of these predominantly right-wing commentators saying, "Oh, it's a conspiracy. Those are actors. They're crisis actors." No, there wasn't a shooting at that school. Those kids aren't dead. They're crisis actors. And it's just like, you are poisoning people's minds. And it's really fucking dangerous. Yes, Natalie, Tub Girls, another one. One guy, one jar. Yeah, a blue waffle. Okay, Jam, you're saying fake. By what standard is it fake? Ruku-san, I'm most definitely a conspiracy. I mean, I know God, do I really want to actually get into a description on what happens in 2 girls, 1 cup? That's just awful. Ruku-san, I am such an inside job. Alternative Dell, I think crisis actors do get paid quite well. Oh yeah, Charlie Litton, the guy who is Ghosty, got identified by the ring. Apparently someone, because, okay, that sort of thing was a select circle of people, and only a few people were into that sort of gaping thing, and it was the guy's ring that identified him, apparently. So people in the know who it was. Oh, Dell, yeah, no. I don't think I ever actually sat all the way through 2 girls, 1 cup. I watched that. I've got a video that people still watch and comment on my YouTube channel, because people were doing reaction videos to 2 girls, 1 cup, and I have 2. One is Corey, Mr. Safety, when he visited me. He'd never seen it, so I got him to watch it and videoed his reaction. But then also a friend of mine who made props, who made a Dalek costume. We got him to be a Dalek reacting to 2 girls, 1 cup, and the Dalek reacting to 2 girls, 1 cup still gets views, still gets comments on my channel. I find it really humorous that, I don't know, people are searching. I don't know what it comes up in related searches. How many? It's got a lot of views. I'm just looking it up on my channel. Yeah, it's got 1.3 million views. 2 girls, 1 cup Dalek reaction. And my favorite thing about this video, this is my friend Scotty, who made the Dalek prop, doing anything. He, for reality's sake, he had the actual real video playing, so he would react at the right times. So I was like, that was really, really dedication, I thought. He wasn't just faking it. He had the actual video playing and was reacting to it in real time. Oh yeah, clapping for comedy. You can find it easily on my channel. Just search for Dalek reaction. I actually have a few Dalek videos on my channel, for what it's worth. So there's the most popular one is the Dalek reacting to 2 girls, 1 cup. But there's also remember Miss Teen South Dakota or whatever it is, who really screwed up her question on the Miss Teen America pageant? We had the Dalek version of that. It's got a grand total of like 20,000 views, as opposed to Two Girls, One Cup, 1.3 million. There you go. So, yes, reactions to gross videos. It gets responses. That's all I can say, honestly. But yes. Yeah, I have. Oh wow! I just did something really strange to my computer. Ah, but we're back now. Good, excellent. My first sign. Who are you offering condolences to? Oh, Adele, a Dalek reacting to Trump. That's an interesting concept. How would a Dalek? Oh wow! I really like that as a concept. How would a Dalek react to Trump? With admiration? With disgust? Or did you say Trump's not going far enough? Ah. Now you've got put the idea in my head, Adele. I'm really interested in thinking that through. How would a Dalek react to Trump? It's interesting because, like I said, it could go any of those ways. Could go any of those ways. Even a Dalek might think Trump's gone too far. A Dalek might be a big Trump fan, like make Scaro great again, Scaro first. Or, yeah, what did you say? Trump's not going far enough. Or, yes, clapping for Clinton, would you just go exterminate? Oh, sorry. You're saying condolences just because he had to watch Two Girls, One Cup. I mean, he survived him. Musical aviator, would a Dalek consider him a useless idiot? Well, Daleks aren't stupid. So they may well just accurately peg him as a sorry, I think at Barry say they do like to exterminate. For some reason, that just popped into my head. The old Spike Milligan Q series sketch about the Pakistani Dalek was so strange. Toby, I'm sad to say the trolls have been underperforming. Only 6 in total. So maybe I banned too many of them before this stream even started, because I did block fucking hundreds of them in the last day or two. But this is great. It's like YouTube's like, Gil, come and make your stupid comments that I'll never see because I'm just doing a blanket block all of those people. Fuck them. Don't let their comments ever appear. Fuck them all. Oh, Barry, I'm a real Doctor Who nerd, so I could probably delve into the Dalek psyche. Ricky saying, you don't want to troll, buddy, because I know where you, no, I don't know exactly where you live, but I could probably find you. Chat, I need to contact Guinness Book River. It's funny, over the years, Christ knows over, because I've been on YouTube more than a decade. Fuck knows how many people I've blocked in that time. But it's sort of, I don't know, an enormous. There's not such a problem with. In fact, there's hardly any problem with spam on YouTube anymore. Like in the early days, there was serious problems with spam. I blocked thousands of spammers, and it only happens occasionally. Now I block thousands of people I really don't fucking like. Mofo, Dalek with a headscarf. He was he wasn't Islam. I think he was Hindu. But there was this. It was just this super weird thing because Spike Milligan was a great absurdist, and there was a lot of talk in England in the 70s about mixed marriages, about because there was a lot of migration from the subcontinent, from India and Pakistan into England, and marrying, white English people, and there was a lot of controversy about mixed marriages. So his mixed marriage was a white English woman married to a Pakistani Dalek, and it's just a super surreal sketch where he just goes, "I had a bad day at work. Mr. Jenkins was annoying me. I exterminated him." And then it's like, "There's a pigeon that bothered me. I exterminated." And he shoots a pigeon and goes, "Put it in the curry." And it's just super, super weird. You can get it on YouTube. Just look up Pakistani Dalek. It is just a super weird, surreal, absurdist comedy sketch. It's very strange. Toby, you can't stop farting. Thanks for sharing, buddy. Oh, am I excited for Jodie Whittaker? Yes. Being a very long time Doctor Who fan, I'm very keen to see what they do with a female Doctor. Yeah, I'm very open-minded. Like it could be very good. I'm hoping it's very good. I have strong hopes it'll be very good. Obviously, they could fuck it up. It could be shit, or it might just be yeah. But I have strong feelings for it being good. Rudy said, yes, I definitely think there are people with a Dalek fetish. Oh, look, that's a sad attempt at being a troll, but I'm desperate to get at least a bronze medal. So that's enough. That's enough. So that's 7. I'm just going, yeah, they're gone. They're gone. And I'm just being really merciless just because I want to get at least a bronze medal. People say, "Oh, the goodies! My God, I saw the goodies so much." Because I grew up in country, in yon olden days, where uh, there were only 2 TV channels. There was one commercial channel, which was like an amalgamation of shows from the 3 metropolitan commercial channels, and the ABC. And the ABC would repeat certain shows like for fucking ever. And I saw the goodies so many times and Doctor Who so many times. Yes, Abigail. Yes, Ruka-san, when I was young, everything was sepia tone. In my parents' time, everything was in black and white. But in my time, it was a bit more sophisticated and everything was in sepia tones. And it wasn't until the mid-70s that everything went into colour. And I've still never seen the Goonies, Clapping Chlamydia. No, Barry, you're good, man. That's good. Yeah, video games. Oh, look, I'm hoping that the Doctor will be good. Look, I think broadly, the new Doctor has been very good. I love Chris Eccleston in his one season. Tarrant was a really good dashing hero. I had a real soft spot for Matt Smith. I really liked. I like Matt Smith was usually being this sort of man-child thing, which was kind of cute. But every now and then he'd bring the steel, like when he got really angry at him. He is a person with whom one does not fuck. And I thought probably the high point for him doing that was A Good Man Goes to War, when Demons Run. He's trying to get Amy Pond and her baby back. Because the shit he did there, like he's doing his man-child stuff, but then when people fuck with him, like with the was it a general? The lead soldier, um, when he said, "Okay, we surrender," and he's going to order the men to surrender, and he says, "No. Don't say surrender, say run away." And he does his whole speech. "I want you to be known as General Runaway so people know what happens when you try to get to me through the people I love." And the same thing when he said to the eye patch woman, when she says, "You're not going to do anything to me. You have too many rules. You're a good man." And he just says, "Good men don't need rules. And today's not a day where you want to find out why I have so many." So I quite like. Yes, I'm with you, Ruka-san. The fact that the Doctor being a woman shouldn't be everything. It shouldn't be, "Oh, I'm a lady, time lady." But it's obviously not nothing. It shouldn't be everything, but it's not nothing either. And I honestly think it puts a lot of pressure on the writers. Jodie Whittaker's a great actor. She'll handle whatever. But it's not Jodie Whittaker who's the potential weak point. The writing is what it's going to come down to. And so I think there's a lot of pressure on the writers and the directors and producers of the show. So Mofo, was this forensic architecture, using architectural knowledge to investigate potential war crimes? That does sound interesting. And are you also saying Peter Capaldi being angry? I felt like Peter Capaldi changed it. Like, he made it feel like a different show. And, being a grumpy old bastard myself, having the Doctor suddenly be a grumpy old bastard was pretty good, quite honestly. I'll tell you the one thing that bugged me, ever since season 1, where the first time they reintroduced Daleks, the episode that was just called Dalek, where there was one Dalek and it was supposed to be the last survivor that Chris Eccleston came up against, and because he had sacrificed everything to end the Time War, he had sacrificed Gallifrey and the Time Lords to defeat the Daleks, but it was all for nothing because he's a Dalek, and he lost it and got really angry. And he's just screaming, and the Dalek's going, "I need orders. What do I do?" And he just screams at it. "You want to know what to do? Die. That's what you can do. Die." And there's a pause, and the Dalek goes, "You would be a good Dalek." And that the emotional power of that line was just like a punch to the gut. And I just feel like they've been trying to recreate that line ever since, which is a bit sad. Do I prefer old Doctor or new Doctor Who? New Doctor Who. Look, I grew up with the old Doctor Who. Like, Tom Baker was my Doctor, and I loved it. But the old Doctor Who, while having a lot going for it, was really cheesy. There was no consequence for anything that happened. Like, an adventure finished, and that was it. It was over. The acting, yeah, some of the Doctors generally were good, but around them was all hammy, cheesy acting. And of course, the effects were fucking shit. So the old season was just, the original Doctor Who was just cheesy as much as I loved it. But the new one was clearly done by people who loved the old one. But one of the key things that I really like about the new Doctor Who is there are consequences, and they really bring that home. They're like in the old Doctor Who, basically everyone around the Doctor died. He showed up somewhere. Basically, the majority of people in the episode, if not everyone, would die. And it was all so, but they really brought that home in the new series. The weight of when the Doctor gets involved, people start to die. But yeah, video games, you dread the day we turn into dark Cybermen. But that's always what the allegory was. The Daleks and the Cybermen were allegories for humans and the way certain people went. Oh yeah, Felix Sheila, the very early Daleks, like the Dalek movies, which I've actually got on DVD. The Doctor Who movies with Peter Cushing in them. Doctor Who and the Daleks and Daleks Invasion Earth, which were movie versions of the TV serials. Yeah, they sort of sprayed steam because they didn't have any money for effects. That was the other thing. I did like the effect of the Dalek shooting in the new ones. Clapping chlamydia. I am also an old man, and it is right on bedtime for me too. I don't think. What else did I really like in the new Doctor Who? I mean, that towards the end of Peter Capaldi's run, the 2 episodes Heaven Sent and Hell Bent, the bit where he works out what's happened. The Time Lords are keeping him imprisoned in a place because they want information from him, and they'll let him go if he plays their game. And he's saying "fuck you," and there's that thing with he works out it's going to go through a cycle, and he's going to be killed, but then brought back, and so he just keeps repeating the cycle. And that wall that's harder than diamond, and he punches it, and he just keeps doing it incarnation after incarnation until he gets all the way through. And when the Time Lords are analyzing it later, they go, oh, we think he was doing that for over 1 billion years. It's like, holy fucking shit. Hi, Claudia. We'll soon be saying bye, Claudia. Sorry, apart from Joe, left in the green death. No, the companions, the only companion in the original run to be killed was Adric, which was hilarious because he was an obnoxious little shit that no one liked. So they killed him, which was great. He was the only companion to get killed. It was all the side characters in every episode who would get killed. I've been mildly annoyed because when the companions in the new season have been put in danger or killed, there's always been an out. So there's always been like, oh, okay, yeah, technically they're dead, but kind of not really because of the way time works. And like, oh, okay, yeah, but you're taking it away. You're tired, Claudia. I'm not tired, but I will be finished soon. Video games. Oh, you're beating me with arcane knowledge. I don't know who Katarina is. Was she an actual? I literally don't know who that is. Was she an actual companion, or was she just a featured character? I'm not familiar with that name at all. Oh yeah, throw fucking unit people got killed left, right, and center, and basically wherever he landed, people. And that's what I liked in the first of the new Doctor Who with Rose. When she finds the guy with the website, it was basically a conspiracy theory website about the Doctor, and that guy tells him when the Doctor appears, people start to die, and then the Autons appear, and that guy gets killed by an Auton, and his last moment was just looking at an Auton where the hand drops off and there's a gun there, and there's just this resigned look on his face like, fuck it, I knew this was gonna happen. Yeah, well, they'd often kill the bad guys, the Sea Devils and the Silurians. I'm waiting for the Sea Devils to reappear in the new one because the Silurians in the new Doctor Who are fucking great because they're not evil like the Silurians in the old Doctor Who were just a baddie. But the Silurians in the new Doctor Who are not baddies, but they're not human and they're not completely okay with humans. So I'd be really keen to see if they could bring the Sea Devils back because I think that has a lot of potential. And for those who aren't as much of a nerd as I am, the Silurians are an intelligent reptile race that disappeared underground millennia ago, and the Sea Devils are their aquatic cousins. They're like intelligent prehistoric races. Yeah, that's okay, dude. I don't insist that people are into the same stuff that I'm into. But I think, Charlie, I know these Silurians are different though. I think they've actually mentioned the Sea Devils once. I think they've made mention of the Sea Devils existing. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I think in the new season they've made reference to the Sea Devils existing. But yeah, I was also thinking other things I liked. This was a reference to Clara being annoying, which she was, but her boyfriend Danny was quite good, and the episode, like where Danny died and got turned into a Cyberman, was really good. Because Danny calling the doctor on his bullshit was really good. Because Danny was a soldier and he regarded the doctor as a general, the guy who gave the orders and got other people killed. So Danny calling the doctor on his bullshit was pretty good. Charlie, you like the fishnet tunics the Sea Devils had? There was some spectacular cheap, cheesy effects in Doctor Who. I'll always remember because I grew up with Tom Baker, and an episode I liked, but had some really fun effects. The Ark in Space that had these insect things. So they started off as like grubs and transformed into insects. And if the grubs got their slime on you, you turned into one. And the guy's has been touched by slug and he's turning into the thing. He's literally just got bubble wrap wrapped around his hand that's been sprayed green. It was fucking hilarious. He's going, "Oh my god!" And we're going, "Yeah, dude. Oh my god, your hand turned into bubble wrap. Fuck, that's bad." And also there was one really cheesy Dalek one with Tom Baker, Destiny of the Daleks, where he's on scurrying. Oh no, it's a Khalid mutant attacking, and it was slime with worms. It was a kids thing that you buy at the supermarket. It was slime with worms. He's going, "Oh no, it's a Khalid mutant attacking me," and it was slime with worms, which was just fucking great. But yes, they had and so many old Doctor Who episodes were shot in quarries, like abandoned mining quarries, because they look like alien planets. It was hilarious how many old Doctor Who episodes were shot in location in mining quarries. Yes, video games, the worm insects in Ark in Space were fun because they were not articulated. They were nicely sculpted costumes, but they had no articulated places. So they were just a solid giant moth with someone inside them going. So old Doctor Who was hilarious, cheesy fun, but I'm very much a fan of the new stuff. Sorry, you haven't watched it in 15 years. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've watched any old Doctor Who in a very long time. I know it wasn't that long ago. The ABC reran all Doctor Who that they had from the beginning. But yeah, exactly, Charlie. They did the best with the budget. Their budget was like zero. They had the set designers and costume designers and sound designers, the people who did the incidental music and sound effects for Doctor Who, were magicians. They were fucking geniuses because they were working on basically a budget of zero, and they came up with some amazing stuff on just no budget at all. Well, I agree, Chap. Now, what did Ruka-san do? Oh, so I think it's a reference to you saying, "Fun fact: if you see slime in a movie, it's probably lube." I think that is the way to go out now. We're just going to go out and just remember, when you ever see anything like alien slime in a movie or a TV show, it's probably buckets of lube. So enjoy that. Take that thought to bed with you. Yeah, Megaleech, I'm super disappointed at the troll tally. I really, really thought there'd be way more. I must have just blocked too many of them in the last 24 hours. Oh, well. So thank you all for joining. Oh, my God. Kruger-san, Predator Bloody's glow stick juice and KY jelly. Okay. Okay, fine. Thanks for dropping by, everyone. It's fun as always. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. Be trying to do a TFU Friday. So if you follow me on the socials, you can send me ideas for videos over the next day. And we'll see. I might have a couple cocktails and make a video tomorrow. You're all wonderful people. Thank you very much for joining me. Yes, and thank God it's Friday tomorrow. And I hope to see all you good people sometime relatively soon. Look after yourselves, and I will see you later. Bye, everyone. Take care.